They'll stop when it hurts. You'll keep going when it counts. That's the line that separates talkers from doers, dreamers from builders, the crowd from the few who actually make it happen. Most people want success, but they don't want the weight that comes with it. They want results, but not the repetition. They love the idea of progress, but not the patience it demands. That's why so many drift between motivation and regret, always planning, rarely finishing. But then there are people like you, the ones who don't quit when it's quiet, who don't give up when it's hard, who don't wait for perfect timing. You work in silence. You build when no one's watching. You fall, learn, and come back sharper. You don't need applause. You need progress. That's what makes you different. This message is for that side of you, the part that knows you're capable of more, that refuses to settle for almost. In this journey, we'll explore what stops most people, the excuses, the comfort, the fear, and how you can rise above it all. Not by luck, not by chance, but by choice. Because while most people stop at enough, you're built to go beyond it. Number 1, decide to work while others keep explaining why they can't. There's a difference between people who wish and people who work. One spends the day describing what they'll do someday. The other quietly does what they said they would. That's the dividing line between most people and you. Most people get stuck explaining. They tell long stories about why it's not the right time, why things aren't fair, or why someone else had it easier. But while they're explaining, time keeps moving. Opportunities don't wait. And one day, they look back and realize that all those explanations bought them nothing. You can't deposit excuses into your future. Only work builds anything real. Working while others explain doesn't mean you're heartless or blind to struggle. It means you've learned that struggle is part of the process. Everyone faces challenges, money problems, fear, rejection, self-doubt. The difference is that you use those as reasons to push, not to pause. When you decide to work, even when it's hard, you begin training your mind to focus on solutions instead of stories. And that single shift changes everything about your life. Every time someone says, "I can't because," they're really saying, "I've chosen not to find a way." The words "I can't" are just another version of "I won't." You might not have all the tools. You might not know how yet, but if you decide to work, you'll learn what you need to know. You'll make mistakes, but those mistakes will teach you faster than excuses ever will. Working when others won't is about ownership. It's about understanding that your goals are your responsibility. No one else will carry them for you. The world doesn't stop to make it easier for you. If you wait for perfect conditions, you'll be waiting forever. You have to create movement in imperfect conditions. When you take action, even messy action, you break the pattern of waiting. You start showing your mind that results come from doing, not explaining. There's something powerful about effort that no one sees. The early mornings, the quiet evenings, the moments you push through doubt, those are the invisible parts of success. No one claps for them, but they matter more than anything. While most people are still explaining why they haven't started, you're building the foundation that will carry you forward. Every person who has ever achieved something meaningful had a reason to quit. They just didn't listen to it. They had the same fears, the same distractions, the same fatigue. But they understood something simple. Your reasons for not doing something are never as strong as the reason you started. The goal, the vision, the dream, that's what deserves your energy, not your excuses. When you work, you start gaining something that explanations can never give you: self-respect. Every time you follow through on what you said you would do, you strengthen your confidence. You start to see yourself as capable. You begin trusting your own word again. That's a feeling no one can give you. It's earned through action, through keeping promises to yourself when no one else is watching. Some people wait for the right mood to start, but that mood never lasts. Real workers don't wait to feel like it. They act because it's the standard they've set for themselves. And funny enough, action creates the feeling they were waiting for. The satisfaction comes after you've done the work, not before. There's another group of people who want results but hate the process. They want progress without effort. They love the idea of success but avoid the grind that builds it. And when they see someone like you moving forward, they'll say you're lucky, or it's different for you. They don't see the hours, the discipline, the consistency. They see the result, not the price. You, however, will know exactly what that price was. Working while others explain also means learning to handle loneliness. Because at first, it will feel like you're the only one putting in the effort. You'll look around and see people relaxing, talking, justifying, while you're still grinding. But that phase doesn't last forever. Eventually, the results start to show, and the same people who doubted you will wonder how you did it. They'll forget how long you worked in silence. That's fine. You don't owe them an explanation either. What you owe yourself is commitment. You owe yourself proof that you can depend on you. When you stop explaining and start working, your relationship with time changes. Every hour becomes valuable. You stop wasting energy convincing others of your intentions because you're too busy creating evidence. That's how self-belief grows, not from positive talk, but from repeated action. Most people think the hardest part is starting, but the truth is, the hardest part is continuing. Anyone can start something, but to keep working when you're tired, when results are slow, when you feel invisible, that's what builds character. That's what sets you apart. You develop grit by staying consistent through the boring, silent, difficult parts. And I'll tell you something about those silent days. They matter more than the visible ones. Because in those moments, when nobody is cheering, you're building the kind of strength that lasts. That's when you're shaping your habits, your mindset, and your future. Work has a way of rewarding the ones who stay with it long enough to deserve the win. When you decide to work instead of explain, you become dangerous in the best way. You stop waiting for permission. You stop seeking approval. You become the kind of person who moves forward regardless of what others think. People can't predict someone who acts consistently. They can only react to your results once they appear. That's why consistent action is so powerful. It surprises everyone who counted you out. The truth is, most people are not lazy because they want to be. They're lazy because they've built habits of hesitation. They've told themselves, I'll do it later, so many times that it feels natural. But habits can be replaced. Every day you choose to work, you're rewiring your brain to respond differently. You're teaching it that discomfort isn't danger, it's growth. You'll notice something else as you keep working: clarity. The more you do, the more you see. The fog starts to lift. Things that once felt confusing begin to make sense. That's because clarity lives on the other side of action. You can't think your way into confidence. You earn it by moving forward, even while uncertain. And don't think that working means burning yourself out. Working means showing up with purpose. It means doing what matters most and cutting out what doesn't. Some people confuse being busy with being productive. But real work is about focus, not chaos. It's about knowing that small, consistent actions every day will build something bigger than random bursts of effort. Eventually, you'll realize something beautiful. You don't need to explain why you can. You'll just do it. You'll feel the strength of your own discipline and the peace that comes with knowing you gave your best. That feeling of earning your progress is rare, but it's worth everything. While most people are still searching for motivation, you'll be creating results. While they're explaining why they couldn't, you'll be living proof that it can be done. And when that day comes, you won't need to say a word. Your work will speak in every result, every opportunity, every ounce of progress that belongs to you. You see, the world doesn't reward intentions. It rewards execution. Every goal, every dream, every plan is just talk until you act. But once you act, once you show up consistently, you start shaping your own future. You start building momentum that no excuse can stop. The best part? It's all a decision. You don't need special skills or perfect timing. You just need to decide. Decide that your life deserves proof, not promises. And when you make that decision, everything starts changing. Your energy changes. Your focus sharpens. People around you notice, even if they don't say it. Because someone who works while others explain carries a different presence. They move with purpose. They live with intention. They don't need to prove anything with words. Their effort proves it for them. So stop explaining. You've explained enough. You've justified enough. You've waited long enough. It's time to work. Because while most people are busy telling the world why they can't, you're going to be too busy showing that you can. And that, right there, is how your story becomes different. That's how you move from most people to you. Number 2, stop waiting for motivation and build your own drive daily. Most people live their entire lives waiting for something to push them forward. A spark, a feeling, a moment that says, now I'm ready. But that moment rarely comes. You can spend weeks, months, even years waiting for motivation to show up, like a wave that'll carry you somewhere new. But life doesn't work that way. Motivation isn't what gets you started. Discipline is. Motivation doesn't build your future, daily drive does. When you stop waiting to feel ready and start building your own drive each day, everything in your life changes. People misunderstand motivation. They think it's this magical rush of energy that makes hard things easy. They wait for it like they're waiting for the weather to change. But the truth is, motivation is unreliable. It's built on emotion, and emotions change. Some days you'll feel unstoppable. Other days you'll feel empty. If you depend on motivation, you'll only move when life feels easy. And that's why most people never follow through. They stop when the feeling fades. Drive, on the other hand, is built, not felt. It's something you create by choice. You earn it by showing up again and again. Drive doesn't care about your mood, the weather, or how convenient it is. Drive is what keeps you working after the excitement disappears. It's what helps you wake up early when your bed feels like a trap. It's what helps you stay focused when your mind is tired and distracted. Drive grows in you every time you do what you said you'd do, no matter how you feel. When you start your day, you have 2 options: to wait for motivation or to create motion. The second you start moving, your brain starts building momentum. That's how drive is formed. You don't wait to feel inspired. You act, and inspiration follows. Most people have it backwards. They wait for the feeling before they act. You must act to get the feeling. Think about this. The days you don't feel like doing anything are the days that define you. Because when you move through resistance, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than your emotion. You stop being controlled by how you feel in the moment. That's when your identity changes. You start seeing yourself as someone who gets things done, not someone who needs to feel good to start. Drive isn't something you get once and keep forever. It's something you rebuild every day. You wake up, and you earn it again through small actions. Making your bed, exercising, keeping promises, staying focused, doing one more task than you planned. These little wins stack up. They tell your mind, I'm moving forward. That message turns into energy. That energy becomes drive. There's nothing glamorous about it. Drive is quiet. It's not about big moments. It's about hundreds of small decisions that no one sees. It's choosing to write when your mind is blank. It's showing up to work when no one is checking on you. It's saying no to distractions that steal your progress. That's the work that builds real inner strength. The kind that doesn't fade when life gets tough. Motivation depends on what's happening around you. Drive depends on what's happening inside you. Motivation says, I'll start when I feel ready. Drive says, I'll start now and figure it out along the way. Motivation waits for energy. Drive creates it. When you understand that, you stop wasting time hoping for the right mood. You build the habit of movement. You'll notice something happens when you start doing this. Your life begins to shift. The tasks that once felt hard begin to feel normal. What once took willpower now feels natural. You stop negotiating with yourself. You start trusting yourself. That's what building drive does. It strengthens the muscle of follow-through. Every time you act when you don't feel like it, you're adding a layer of strength to that muscle. And here's the truth. No one can build your drive for you. People can inspire you. They can teach you. But they can't do the work inside your own head. The moment you take ownership of that, your power multiplies. You stop being a victim of mood swings. You stop saying, I don't feel like it, and start saying, I'll do it anyway. That's how self-leadership begins. You have to stop romanticizing motivation as if it's the missing piece. It's not. It's a visitor that sometimes shows up and sometimes doesn't. You can't build a future around something that's inconsistent. You need habits that stand on their own. When you repeat small actions every day, Your body begins to operate on rhythm. You don't ask, do I want to? You just do. That's drive. You'll find that drive brings a different kind of peace. Not the peace of comfort, but the peace of control. You stop living in reaction to feeling. You start living by decision. And when that happens, your confidence grows in ways motivation never could. Confidence doesn't come from feeling good about yourself. It comes from proving to yourself that you can rely on you. That proof only comes through consistent action. The days you don't want to do the work are the most valuable. They teach you about your limits and your ability to push through them. Those are the days that build character. Because anyone can work when it's easy. The real power is working when it's not. That's when you start shaping the kind of person who can handle more, who doesn't fold under pressure, who keeps showing up no matter what's happening outside. To build your drive daily, you must learn how to design your environment. Don't wait for willpower alone. Make it easier to stay consistent. Keep reminders around you that point you toward your goals. Reduce distractions that steal your focus. Structure your day so that discipline is automatic. When your environment supports your actions, you don't have to fight your own mind as much. Also, take care of your physical energy. Drive isn't just mental. It's connected to how you eat, sleep, move, and think. You can't build consistency on an exhausted body. Treat yourself like a machine that needs fuel and maintenance. The sharper your health, the stronger your drive. And when your energy is balanced, you stop relying on random motivation to get through the day. Another thing to remember, drive grows through reflection. When you finish your day, don't just move to the next one. Look back. Recognize what you did right, what needs improvement, and what you'll do differently tomorrow. That reflection gives meaning to your effort. It keeps your purpose alive. You'll start noticing patterns when you're most focused, when you slip, and what triggers your excuses. The more aware you become, the more control you gain. If you ever find yourself saying, I just don't feel motivated anymore, remind yourself that you don't need to feel ready to start. You just need to start. The feeling comes after. The motion creates the mood. The action creates the energy. You can't think your way into drive. You have to act your way into it. Building drive is like building strength. Every rep counts. Every day adds up. You might not see the change immediately, but it's happening underneath. Eventually you'll wake up and realize you don't wait for the right moment anymore. You make the moment right by what you do. You stop chasing feelings and start creating standards. And soon, people will notice something different about you. They'll ask how you stay so consistent. They'll say, you're so motivated, but you'll know it's not motivation at all. It's discipline, built through action. It's drive you constructed, one day at a time. And that's what separates you from the ones still waiting to feel like it. So stop waiting for motivation to knock on your door. It's not coming. You're not supposed to wait for it. You're supposed to build your own fire. Every morning, choose action over mood. Choose movement over waiting. Choose growth over comfort. Because one day, when most people are still explaining why they can't start, you'll already be far ahead. Not because you were motivated, but because you decided to move when others stood still. That's the power of building your own drive daily. That's how you take control of your life and make every single day count. Number 3, keep doing what's right, even when no one claps for you. Doing what's right when nobody notices is one of the hardest things you'll ever do. Because deep down, every human being wants to be seen. We want someone to say, good job, or I'm proud of you. But life doesn't always work that way. Sometimes you'll do the right thing, you'll give your best, and there won't be any applause. There won't be recognition. There won't even be a thank you. And in those moments, that's when your real strength is tested. That's when you find out if you're doing it for approval or because it's right. It's easy to do the right thing when people are watching. It feels good when others notice your effort. But when the room is quiet, when nobody sees your hard work, that's where integrity begins. The question is simple. Do you still give your best when there's no reward attached? That's where character is built. Not in the spotlight, but in silence. Most people give up when the world doesn't notice their effort. They think, what's the point? They lose energy because their work was tied to validation. But those who keep doing what's right, even without attention, they rise above the noise. Because their focus isn't on being noticed. It's on being genuine. It's on being true to their own standard. You can't live your life waiting for applause. Approval fades. People's opinions change. Some days they'll cheer you on, and the next day they'll forget your name. But if you tie your actions to purpose, not praise, you'll never lose your direction. You'll know that every time you choose to do what's right, you're investing in something that can't be taken from you, your own self-respect. When you do good work quietly, something powerful happens inside you. You stop working for attention and start working from intention. You begin to rely on your own values, not external noise. You start to see growth, not as a performance, but as a commitment. That's when you realize that the most important audience in your life is you. You're the one who has to live with the choices you make when nobody's watching. Doing what's right often feels lonely. It feels unfair. You'll see people who cut corners getting ahead. You'll see those who lie, flatter, or manipulate getting rewards. And you'll wonder, does honesty even matter anymore? But time has a strange way of sorting things out. The quick wins that come from shortcuts never last. They collapse when the truth catches up. Real success, the kind that feels clean, peaceful, and lasting, always belongs to those who stayed honest, even when it hurt. When you choose to keep doing what's right, you build quiet confidence. You don't need to prove anything, because you know you gave your best. You don't live with guilt or regret, because your conscience is clear. That inner peace becomes your strength. It's something applause can't give you. It's the kind of calm that comes from knowing you didn't cheat yourself. You'll also notice that the people who truly matter start to recognize your consistency over time. They may not always say it out loud, but they'll see it. People trust those who stand firm in their values. They rely on them because they know where they stand. That's how influence is really built. Not by chasing attention, but by showing reliability, honesty, and integrity day after day. Every time you choose to do the right thing, you're setting a standard for yourself. You're saying, this is who I am, and that matters more than any round of applause. Because applause can be taken away, but identity can't. Once you define yourself by your values, you stop bending to what's popular. You start building a backbone instead of a There will be times when doing the right thing costs you something. Opportunities, relationships, or comfort. You'll lose people who only stayed because you gave them what they wanted. You'll face moments of doubt, wondering if honesty is worth it. But that's when you remind yourself, doing what's right isn't about ease. It's about strength. It's about being able to look yourself in the mirror and know you didn't compromise your soul just to please others. It's strange how the world works. Many people chase fame, money, or attention, thinking it'll bring them peace. But peace comes from alignment. When your actions match your values, when you stop performing and start living in truth, life gets simpler. You stop overthinking. You stop trying to be liked by everyone. You become comfortable being misunderstood because you know your heart is in the right place. Even the smallest act of integrity has power. When you refuse to gossip, when you stay honest about your mistakes, when you give credit where it's due, when you help without expecting something back, those choices build your reputation in ways you don't even see. People may not clap now, but they remember how you made them. They remember that you stood by what was right. The truth is, there's freedom in doing what's right quietly. You no longer live on the roller coaster of approval and rejection. You no longer depend on applause to feel good about yourself. You start to measure success by your own principle. That's when life becomes lighter. Not because it's easier, but because it's real. When no one claps, it's not a sign you're failing. It's a test. It's life asking, do you really mean it? Anyone can talk about doing the right thing. Few can keep doing it without recognition. That's why the world is full of talkers and short on examples. But those examples matter. You can be one of them. The reward of doing right consistently is often delayed, but it's deep. It shows up in your relationships, in your reputation, in the way opportunities quietly find you later. It shows up in the trust people place in you. And most importantly, it shows up in how you see yourself. Because when you know you've lived with integrity, there's nothing to hide, nothing to prove, nothing to regret. Doing what's right even without applause teaches patience. It reminds you that real growth takes time. Seeds don't sprout the moment you plant them. Results don't show the same day you put in the effort. But just because no one sees the work doesn't mean it's wasted. Every act of discipline, honesty, and kindness is building something beneath the surface. You're developing strength that will carry you farther than shortcuts ever could. And sometimes doing what's right feels painful because it separates you from the crowd. You'll feel misunderstood. You'll question yourself. You'll wonder why others seem to have it easier. But that's where self-respect is born. In the moments you choose your values over comfort. Because once you learn to stand alone, you become unstoppable. You don't need validation to move forward anymore. In a world obsessed with likes, followers, and public praise, doing what's right quietly becomes a rare kind of power. It's strength built from within. It's proof that your heart guides your actions, not the crowd. The world may overlook that today, but in the end, it's the kind of life that leaves a real mark. The people who keep doing what's right, even in silence, build a kind of success that applause can't buy. Peace of mind, self-trust, and genuine respect from others. And those who live chasing applause, they spend their lives trying to fill a void that only integrity can fill. So keep doing what's right, even if nobody sees you. Keep choosing honesty over shortcuts. Keep putting in the work when nobody notices. Keep standing firm when the easy path looks tempting. Because one day you'll look back and realize the quiet effort you gave was the loudest proof of your strength. The truth is, you don't need applause to validate your worth. You just need to know you're doing the right thing. That's where real success begins. Not with the sound of clapping hands, but with the calm of knowing you lived your values fully. That peace, that confidence, that quiet power, that's your reward, and no amount of applause in the world could ever replace it. Number 4. Face your weakness instead of hiding it behind excuses. Every person has weaknesses. No one escapes them. But the difference between people who grow and people who stay stuck is simple. One faces their weaknesses. The other hides them behind excuses. Facing your weaknesses doesn't mean judging yourself or feeling ashamed. It means looking at yourself honestly. It means admitting where you fall short. Not to stay there, but to understand where to grow. Most people will do anything to avoid that mirror. They'll build explanations so strong that even they start believing them. But the truth is, excuses don't protect you. They keep you trapped. When you face your weaknesses, you take the first real step toward power. Weakness isn't the enemy. Denial is. Every time you say that's just how I am or it's not my fault, you give up the chance to change. Growth only starts when you stop protecting your comfort. You can't improve what you refuse to see. And the hard part is, most weaknesses hide behind habits that feel normal. Procrastination, overthinking, blaming others, waiting for motivation. They look harmless, but they steal your progress day after day. You have to be brave enough to ask yourself the hard questions. Where do I keep falling short? What pattern keeps repeating in my life? What story do I tell myself every time I fail? Those questions are uncomfortable because they strip away illusion. They make you face the truth that maybe it wasn't bad luck. Maybe it wasn't the world against you. Maybe it was your habits, your decisions, your mindset. That's not a reason to feel guilty. It's a reason to feel powerful. Because once you own it, you can change it. Excuses are comforting because they give you something to blame. They let you off the hook. But every time you hide behind one, you teach your brain that it's okay to stay weak. You build a habit of retreat. And the more you do it, the more powerless you feel. Strength begins when you stop running from what's uncomfortable. Facing your weaknesses doesn't mean you'll fix them overnight, but it means you stop lying to yourself. That honesty creates clarity. It's the start of transformation. Think about how many times people say, I'm just not good with people. I can't focus. I've always been lazy. That's not me. Those aren't truths. They're defense walls. People repeat them so they don't have to try. But if you take those same sentences and add one word, everything changes. I'm not good with people yet. I can't focus yet. I've been lazy, but I'm changing that. That single shift from denial to ownership changes your entire direction. Facing your weakness gives you back control. It says, I'm not perfect, but I'm responsible. Weakness only becomes permanent when you protect it with excuses. The people who grow fast in life aren't the ones who avoid failure. They're the ones who confront their flaws directly. They know that the part of them that's holding them back today can become their strength tomorrow if they work on it. They don't hide behind pride. They don't waste time pretending. They confront the problem, even if it hurts their ego. Because ego wants to look right. Growth wants to get better. When you start facing your weaknesses, you'll feel uncomfortable at first. You'll want to distract yourself. You'll feel exposed. That's normal. Most people run from that feeling. But if you sit with it long enough, you'll start to feel something else, clarity. You'll start to see patterns in your thinking and behavior that make sense for the first time. You'll realize why certain things keep happening the same way. You'll understand that it wasn't fate, it was behavior. That's when change becomes possible. The truth is, your weakness doesn't make you less valuable. It makes you human. Everyone has areas where they struggle. The difference is whether you use those areas as an excuse to stay small or as a reason to grow stronger. Every skill you have today was once a weakness you decided to work on. Every confident person was once uncertain. Every leader was once scared to speak up. You don't eliminate weakness by wishing it away. You turn it into strength by facing it, working through it, and refusing to give up. Excuses are the language of avoidance. They sound reasonable. They sound logical, but they keep you still. I'm too tired. It's not the right time. I don't know how. These aren't reasons. They're barriers built from fear. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll wait forever. The truth is, action doesn't come after confidence. Confidence comes after action. The moment you take one small step toward a weakness, you weaken its power over you. That's how you begin to grow. Not by talking about it, but by doing something about it. Facing your weakness doesn't mean beating yourself up. It means taking ownership with kindness. It's saying this part of me needs work, and I'm willing to work on it. You can't shame yourself into growth. You grow by understanding that improvement is a process. You'll fail, you'll stumble, you'll repeat old patterns. But if you keep returning to the truth, you'll keep getting stronger. Growth is repetition in the right direction. There's something freeing about honesty. When you stop pretending to be perfect, you remove the pressure of performance. You don't have to impress anyone. You just have to improve yourself. The people who respect you will respect your transparency. The ones who judge you are usually hiding their own weaknesses anyway. Being honest about your flaws isn't weakness. It's courage. It shows you're mature enough to grow beyond your limits. You'll notice that when you face your weaknesses, your excuses lose power. You stop saying I can't and start saying I'm learning. You stop waiting for conditions to change and start changing yourself. That's when life begins to open up. You'll take risks. You'll accept challenges. You'll start doing things that once scared you. And every time you face something you used to avoid, you'll feel stronger. Because nothing builds confidence like conquering your own limitations. People often look for confidence in external achievements. They think success will erase insecurity, but real confidence doesn't come from success. It comes from facing what scares you. It's knowing you've looked at your flaws directly and worked on them. That's why confident people don't need to brag. Their strength comes from self-awareness, not approval. They've made peace with their imperfections because they've done the work. If you want to grow fast, focus on your weaknesses, not obsessively, but intentionally. Find the one thing that keeps holding you back and make it your project. Study it, practice it, improve. Whether it's discipline, communication, patience, or focus, pick one and start working. Progress might be slow, but it's real. And every improvement in one area improves your whole life. Because growth in one habit often strengthens every other habit you have. You can't hide your weaknesses forever. Life has a way of exposing what you avoid. So instead of waiting for them to catch up to you, face them now. You'll suffer less in the long run. Because hiding behind excuses creates a double pain. The pain of weakness and the pain of regret. But facing your weakness gives you the opposite. The pain of effort, followed by the pride of growth. When you start living this way, you stop being afraid of failure. You see failure as feedback. You understand that mistakes aren't proof you're weak. They're proof you're trying. Every time you face something you're bad at, you create a new version of yourself. That's how transformation happens. Quietly, through repetition and honesty. So stop defending your limitations. Stop explaining why you can't. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to change. Just face it. Say, this is where I struggle, and this is where I'll get better. That simple truth is more powerful than any excuse you could ever make. Because the moment you face your weakness, it stops controlling you. And when that happens, you don't just get stronger, you get free. Number 5. Push yourself when your mind says it's enough for today. There's a point every day where your mind whispers, that's enough. It's that voice that tells you to stop when you still have more to give. It's quiet, reasonable, convincing. It tells you you've done enough for today, that you've earned your rest, that you can pick it up tomorrow. Most people listen to that voice. They think stopping there is balance. But the truth is, that voice is the barrier between average and exceptional. The ones who win in life, in business, in growth, are the ones who keep going for a little longer when their mind says they're done. You don't have to run yourself into exhaustion, but you must learn to challenge your limits. Your mind loves comfort. It's built to protect you from strain. It tries to keep you safe by keeping you the same. But safety and growth can't exist in the same place. When your mind says, that's enough, that's the sign that growth is just on the other side. That's the edge where your potential starts to expand. Every step beyond that point rewires your identity. It tells you, I can do more than I thought. Pushing yourself isn't about punishment. It's about discovery. It's about finding out what's still left in you when you think you're empty. Most people never find that out because they stop at the first sign of fatigue. They think tired means finished. But tired isn't the end. It's the beginning of real effort. Anyone can work when they feel strong. The real test begins when strength fades and discipline takes over. When you push past the limit your mind sets, something shifts inside you. You stop being controlled by feelings and start being led by purpose. That small decision to do one more rep, one more call, one more hour, one more attempt compounds over time. It doesn't look like much in the moment, but those small moments of extra effort build momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence builds consistency, and consistency builds results that last. Your mind always wants to negotiate. It tells you, you did enough for today. You'll do better tomorrow. Or you're not falling behind. Everyone else is resting too. Those lines sound kind. They sound responsible. But they're traps. They feed the habit of stopping early. When you stop early enough times, you teach your brain to settle. You create a pattern of almost finishing, almost reaching, almost growing. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is often just one more push past that voice. You don't grow by doing what's easy. You grow by doing what your mind resists. That resistance is your compass. It shows you exactly where your potential lies. If you stop every time you feel tired, you'll live your whole life in the comfort zone. And comfort feels good today, but costs you tomorrow. Every time you go past that limit, even by a small amount, you expand your capacity. You become someone who can handle more, do more, achieve more. Think about how many days you've stopped right before something great could have happened. The project you almost finished, the workout you cut short, the idea you stopped refining. You didn't quit because you couldn't. You quit because you decided, that's enough. That's the real thief of growth. The small, silent decision to stop when you could have gone just a bit further. If you can train yourself to push through that moment, you'll start seeing results others never reach. You don't have to push hard all day, every day. You just need to find that moment, the point where your body or mind says stop, and go a little beyond it. That's where the lesson lives. That's where progress hides. You'll feel it, the discomfort, the resistance, the urge to escape it. But if you can hold on for a few more minutes, you'll prove to yourself that the limit was an illusion. That proof builds mental toughness. You'll start trusting yourself more because you know you don't fold when it gets uncomfortable. There's a calm strength that comes from knowing you can go further than your excuses. That's what separates those who wish from those who achieve. The world doesn't reward effort alone. It rewards endurance. It rewards those who keep showing up when they're tired, those who deliver when others delay, those who give a little more when everyone else stops. That's not luck or talent. That's endurance trained into the mind through repetition. When you're tempted to stop, don't think about how tired you are. Think about how good it will feel to finish strong. Think about the pride of knowing you gave everything. That satisfaction lasts longer than the comfort of quitting early. The pain of pushing yourself fades quickly, but the pride stays. Every time you finish, when it would have been easier to stop, You're building proof that you're stronger than your feelings. It's important to understand that your mind will always find reasons to slow down. It will tell you that you're being smart by conserving energy. It will remind you of your past efforts, making you believe you've earned the right to stop. But that's not your higher self speaking. That's your protective self. You don't overcome that voice by arguing with it. You overcome it by acting anyway. Action silences doubt faster than thought ever could. The more you practice pushing yourself in small things, the stronger you get for the big ones. When you hold a plank a few seconds longer, when you read one more page before sleeping, when you send that one last message instead of saying I'll do it tomorrow, you're training your discipline. You're teaching yourself to lead your mind instead of following it. That's how self-mastery is built. Not through grand moments, but through tiny daily decisions. You might not see the payoff immediately, but it's happening. Every time you push past your comfort limit, you're stretching your threshold. What used to feel impossible starts feeling normal. The bar moves higher, and the people who used to seem far ahead of you, you'll start catching them, because most people slow down when it gets hard. They listen to their tired thoughts and call it balance. You, on the other hand, learn to rest without quitting. The truth is, you don't discover your potential by doing what's easy. You find it when you reach the edge and decide to take one more step. That's the moment where growth happens. When comfort ends and courage begins. When you choose to keep going, you're not just improving your skill or your stamina, you're strengthening your will. That willpower is what carries you through every obstacle life throws at you. Once you build it, no setback can take it away. If you can develop the habit of giving just a little more every day, your progress becomes unstoppable. Not double, not triple, unstoppable. Because you'll have built a mindset that doesn't depend on convenience or feeling. You'll know how to keep going when it's boring, when it's painful, when it's quiet. That's where the greatest version of you is built. In those small moments when no one's watching, and you decide to give more anyway. When your mind says it's enough for today, pause for a second and remember, that's not your limit. That's your resistance speaking. You have more inside you than your thoughts want you to believe. You always do. That extra 5 minutes, that final effort, that one last push. It's not about the task anymore. It's about the message you send to yourself. I finished strong. That message rewires everything about how you see challenge. The truth is simple. Most people stop when they're tired. The few who keep going change their lives. You don't have to be the strongest or the smartest. You just have to go a little further when others don't. That extra step compounds over time. It becomes a habit, then an identity. And one day you'll look back and realize that everything you built came from those moments when your mind said stop, and you quietly answered, not you. Number 6. Cut time-wasting habits that make you feel stuck inside. Feeling stuck doesn't always come from big failures or life-changing events. Most of the time, it comes from small daily habits that quietly steal your focus, your time, and your energy. You tell yourself you're just resting for a few minutes, but hours go by and nothing changes. You scroll, you check, you switch from one distraction to another, and by the end of the day, you feel empty and frustrated. You didn't do anything wrong, but you didn't do anything meaningful either. That's the trap of time-wasting habits. They make you feel safe while slowly keeping you stuck inside your own comfort zone. You have to realize that these habits don't start as problems. They start as relief. You open your phone to take a quick break, watch something funny to relax, or talk endlessly about plans without actually doing them. It feels harmless, even necessary. But over time, it turns into avoidance. You're not resting anymore. You're escaping. You're not recovering energy, you're draining it. The more time you spend on distractions, the less connected you feel to your goals. You begin to lose direction, and that loss creates the heavy feeling of being stuck. If you ever wonder why you feel unfulfilled even when you're busy, it's because being busy doesn't mean being productive. You can fill your whole day with activity and still make no progress. Time-wasting habits disguise themselves as effort. You convince yourself that replying to every message, checking every update, watching just one more thing, or organizing your workspace for the 5th time somehow helps. But deep down, you know it's avoidance. It's resistance pretending to be work. To break free, you first need honesty. You can't fix what you won't face. Look closely at how you spend your time. How many hours do you lose to things that add no real value to your life? Not things that rest your mind. Rest is important, but things that numb you. You'll be surprised how much time disappears into meaningless loops. A 5-minute distraction becomes an hour. An hour becomes an evening. Days pass, and you start wondering why you haven't moved forward. It's not lack of opportunity. It's lack of focus. Cutting time-wasting habits doesn't mean removing all fun or pleasure from life. It means becoming intentional about how you use your time. Every moment you spend should either move you closer to something meaningful or genuinely recharge your mind and body. Everything else is noise. The hard part is that noise feels comfortable. You reach for it automatically. You have to start catching yourself in those moments. When you feel the urge to waste time, pause. Ask yourself, is this helping me grow, or is this keeping me stuck? That simple question can change your day. The reason many people stay trapped in time-wasting cycles is because those habits are tied to emotion. You don't scroll for fun. You scroll to escape something: boredom, stress, pressure, uncertainty. You avoid work not because you're lazy, but because you're afraid of what might happen if you fail. Once you understand that, you stop hating yourself for wasting time and start addressing the real cause. You replace escape with effort. You face what you've been running from instead of distracting yourself from it. Every wasted minute might seem small, but they add up faster than you think. 10 wasted minutes a few times a day turns into hours each week. Hours turn into weeks each month. That's time you could have used to build something, learn something, or move forward. Time is your most valuable currency, and it doesn't come back. You can lose money and earn it again. You can lose opportunities and create new ones. But lost time is gone forever. That reality should wake you up. If you want to change your life, start by tracking your time. Not forever, just for a few days. Write down how you spend every hour. At the end of each day, look at it honestly. You'll see patterns. How much time you lose to scrolling, talking without action, or doing tasks that don't matter. When you see it written down, you can't hide from it. That awareness alone will make you more intentional. The goal isn't to fill every minute with work. It's to align your time with your purpose. Make a list of the habits that drain you and the ones that build you. Replace the empty ones with meaningful ones, one at a time. Instead of scrolling, read a few pages of something that teaches you. Instead of complaining, write down ideas to fix what bothers you. Instead of watching people live their lives online, use that energy to build your own offline. Every small shift compounds into momentum. Cutting time-wasting habits also requires setting boundaries. You have to protect your time like it's your future. Because it is. Turn off notifications that don't matter. Stop answering every message instantly. Don't let other people's urgency become your priority. The world is full of noise designed to steal your attention. If you don't guard your focus, someone else will gladly take it. Learn to say no without guilt. Every no to distraction is a yes to progress. You'll notice that the moment you remove time-wasting habits, your life starts feeling lighter. You'll think clearer. You'll sleep better. You'll have more energy because your brain isn't constantly switching between meaningless tasks. The heaviness of being stuck begins to fade because you're finally taking back control of your time. You'll start seeing hours not as something to kill, but as something to invest. The people who feel most alive aren't the ones who have more time. They're the ones who use it wisely. They build routines that keep them moving. They treat their focus as sacred. They don't let boredom dictate their actions. They know that every moment wasted in distraction is a moment stolen from their goals. You can have that same clarity. It starts by cutting what doesn't matter. Sometimes breaking free from time-wasting habits means facing discomfort. When you stop distracting yourself, all the feelings you've been avoiding show up. Fear, sadness, frustration, doubt. That's why people keep escaping. Distractions silence those emotions, but facing them is the only way to grow. Once you sit with your discomfort long enough, it loses its grip on you. You become stronger than your impulses. Time-wasting habits often make you feel trapped because they give you the illusion of progress. You feel busy but empty, productive but unfulfilled. The cure isn't to do more, it's to do what matters. You have to redefine what productive means for you. Is it scrolling for information you'll forget tomorrow? Or creating something that lasts? Is it talking about your goals or taking one small step toward them? If you really want freedom, you must learn to focus again. Real focus feels uncomfortable at first, because your brain craves instant pleasure. But when you push through that restlessness, you find peace on the other side. That peace comes from being fully engaged in something that matters. A task, a goal, a purpose. That's the kind of satisfaction distractions can't give you. Cutting time-wasting habits isn't about becoming perfect. It's about being aware and intentional. You'll waste time sometimes. That's okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Each time you catch yourself and get back on track, you strengthen your awareness. You build discipline. You start living with direction instead of drifting aimlessly through your day. Your future self is shaped by what you do with your time today. Every decision to focus or to waste, to act or to scroll adds up. You don't need to overhaul your whole life overnight. Just start with one wasted hour and take it back. Replace it with something meaningful, something that moves you forward. Then do it again tomorrow. Slowly, your life will start feeling purposeful again. When you look back months or years from now, you won't remember the videos, the posts, or the distractions you once gave your time to. You'll remember what you built, who you became, and the strength you gained by refusing to waste your life on noise. Because in the end, it's not time that traps you. It's what you choose to do with it. And when you finally cut the habits that hold you back, you realize you were never really stuck. You were just spending your time in the wrong place. Number 7. Stay calm under pressure when everyone else gives up. Pressure reveals who we really are. It strips away every layer of comfort, every mask of confidence, and leaves you face to face with your truth. Most people crumble under it because pressure demands calm when everything inside them wants to panic. It demands patience when every instinct screams to run. But if you can learn to stay calm under pressure, especially when everyone else is giving up, you'll stand out in every room, every challenge, every moment that matters. Because when others lose control, the one who remains steady becomes the leader by default. Staying calm doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. It means keeping your mind steady while you face what's real. When pressure hits, your heart races, your thoughts scatter, and your fears rise. That's normal. What separates strong people from the rest is not that they feel calm, it's that they control their reaction. They take a deep breath instead of snapping. They think before they speak. They assess before they act. Calm isn't a personality trait. It's a skill you build through self-awareness and discipline. When everything starts falling apart, panic feels natural because your brain is wired for survival. It tries to protect you by making you react fast. But reacting fast isn't the same as responding wisely. When you rush, you make mistakes. You speak words you regret. You make choices that create bigger problems. The calm mind, on the other hand, sees clearly. It separates facts from fears. It slows things down long enough to find a solution. That's what allows a calm person to succeed where others freeze. Think about the moments when pressure is highest. Deadlines, confrontations, financial struggles, failures. These moments make most people spiral into stress. They think it's too much, and they stop thinking clearly. But the calm person says, "This is difficult but not impossible." That mindset is power. Because when you're calm, your brain can still problem solve. You don't waste energy on panic. You focus it on action. Staying calm under pressure starts with preparation. You can't wait until chaos hits to start practicing control. You build it daily in small frustrations, in delays and disagreements. When you learn to stay composed during minor stress, you're training for the big one. Every time you choose calm over anger, patience over reaction, focus over distraction, you strengthen your ability to handle the storm. Pressure doesn't create strength. It exposes what you've been training for. When people around you start giving up, it's easy to follow. Human nature is contagious. Fear spreads fast. Doubt spreads even faster. You'll hear others say, "This is pointless," or "It's too hard," or "Let's just stop." And that's the moment you decide who you are. You can absorb their panic, or you can anchor yourself. You can remind yourself that quitting doesn't remove the challenge. It just hands the victory to someone else. Staying calm is not about ignoring difficulty. It's about meeting it with clarity and control. Pressure also tests your patience. It's easy to stay calm for a few minutes, but staying calm when progress is slow or results are unclear, that's mastery. The greatest achievers aren't those who never feel stress. They're the ones who keep moving forward without letting it destroy their focus. They don't waste energy complaining. They don't get stuck blaming others. They keep their emotions in check so they can make the next right move. That kind of control earns respect. because it's rare. To stay calm under pressure, you must learn how to manage your internal dialogue. When things go wrong, your mind starts saying things like, "This will never work," or "You're not ready for this." Those thoughts feed panic. You have to interrupt them with truth. "I can handle this. I faced worse. I'll figure this out step by step." That inner talk shapes how your body reacts. When your mind believes you're capable, your body starts to relax. Your breathing slows, your focus sharpens, and your power returns. One of the most powerful things you can do in moments of pressure is pause. Not for long, just enough to regain control of your thoughts. That pause between stimulus and reaction determines the quality of your response. In that short space, you get to choose panic or presence, fear or focus. That pause is where leadership is born. It's where maturity speaks louder than emotion. Most people react instantly and regret it. The calm person pauses, processes, and responds with purpose. You'll notice that pressure makes loud people louder and quiet people quieter. It exaggerates who they are. The one who can stay balanced becomes the stabilizer for everyone else. When you stay calm, others look to you for guidance, even if you don't say a word. That's the silent authority of composure. People trust those who don't lose control when things get hard. They see strength in restraint. Calmness also protects your energy. Panic burns through it fast. When you're stressed, you waste effort worrying about things outside your control. But calm focus directs energy towards solutions. You don't fight everything, you choose your battle. You learn to let go of what doesn't matter and put your full effort into what does. That's how calm people stay productive, even in chaos. They conserve energy by refusing to feed panic. Pressure will always test your emotions. You'll feel anger, frustration, doubt, fear. Staying calm doesn't mean you don't feel those things. It means you don't let them take charge. You acknowledge them, but you stay guided by logic. It's not coldness, it's control. You can care deeply and still stay centered. That's the balance of emotional strength. Sometimes calm looks like silence. It's walking away from arguments that don't serve you. It's keeping your composure when someone else loses theirs. It's choosing dignity over drama. You don't have to respond to every noise. You don't have to match anyone's chaos. The louder the world gets, the more valuable calm becomes. Pressure also reveals discipline. When things go wrong, most people change their plan. They start cutting corners or lowering their standards. Calm people stay consistent. They adjust their strategy, but not their integrity. They don't let fear make their decisions. They remind themselves that patience and persistence win more battles than speed and panic ever could. The calm mind performs better because it can think clearly. In business, in sports, in relationships, those who can stay composed when things go wrong always find better solutions. They see opportunities others miss because they're not blinded by emotion. They don't react to noise. They act based on vision. That's why they rise when everyone else falls apart. You can start building that kind of strength right now. The next time pressure hits, take one deep breath, then take another. Feel your heartbeat slow. Ask yourself what needs to be done next. Not everything, not the whole problem, just the next step. That's how calm people handle chaos. One small, clear move at a time. The storm doesn't disappear, but they learn to walk through it without losing themselves. Over time, staying calm becomes your natural state. You stop overreacting. You stop rushing to fix everything instantly. You start trusting your ability to handle life as it comes. You stop fearing challenges because you know you can face them with composure. That's real confidence, not arrogance, but self-trust, built from surviving pressure without breaking down. And when everyone else gives up, your calm presence becomes the reminder that it's not over. People will draw strength from your steadiness. They'll look to you as proof that peace under pressure is possible. You won't have to say much. Your actions will show it. Because calm people don't talk about strength. They show it by not falling apart when life tests them the most. So when the pressure rises and the world around you starts to panic, stay still inside. Remember that your power lies in control, not in noise. While others give up, keep your head clear. While others break, hold your center. That's how you win, not by avoiding pressure, but by mastering yourself in the middle of it. Because when everyone else gives up, the calm one keeps moving forward. And in the end, that's the person who leads, survives, and builds a life that pressure can't destroy. Number 8, do the boring tasks that quietly build real confidence. The moment you think you know enough is the moment you start falling behind. Growth ends where arrogance begins. The most dangerous thought a person can have is, "I already know this." That's the sentence that kills progress, steals opportunities, and locks potential inside a cage of pride. Life rewards the ones who stay curious, who keep learning, who look at their skills not as trophies to show off, but as tools to sharpen. The ones who think they've arrived stop moving forward. The ones who keep improving even when they're already good keep rising higher. Real improvement isn't about competition. It's about curiosity. It's about looking at what you know and asking, how can I make this better? The best people in any field, whether it's business, sports, art, or personal growth, never act like experts. They act like students. They study, observe, adjust, and evolve. They don't see learning as a chore. They see it as the price of staying relevant and sharp. The moment you stop learning, the world keeps moving without you. There are two kinds of people: those who want to appear smart and those who want to become better. The first group seeks validation. They talk more than they listen. They defend their opinions to prove they're right. The second group stays humble. They know that every person they meet, every experience they go through, has something to teach them. They're not focused on looking wise. They're focused on growing wiser. That's why they keep improving while others plateau. When you keep improving, you keep your mind alive. You stay open to change. You stop being afraid of being wrong, because you realize that every mistake is a lesson. Most people don't fear failure. They fear looking inexperienced. They stop asking questions because they think it makes them look weak. But ignorance doesn't make you weak. Pretending you know everything does. The strong ones are the ones who admit there's more to learn and go after it. If you want to keep growing, you have to become comfortable with not knowing. You have to stay a beginner at heart, even when you've gained experience. Beginners see the world with fresh eyes. They notice details others overlook. They ask questions others stopped asking years ago. That mindset keeps you sharp. Experience should make you better, not blind. Too many people let experience turn into ego. They use it as a shield to avoid challenge. But the truth is, the day you stop being teachable is the day your progress stops. You'll notice that the people who keep improving aren't the loudest in the room. They're often quiet observers. They listen, they watch, they learn from everyone, even from people younger or less experienced than them. Because wisdom isn't tied to age or status. It's tied to awareness. Every person knows something you don't. Every situation carries a lesson, if you're paying attention. The humble person collects those lessons daily. That's why their growth never ends. Improvement requires honesty. You can't fix what you won't fix. You have to look at yourself and ask, where can I do better? That question doesn't come from insecurity. It comes from strength. People who are afraid of weakness hide behind comfort. People who want to grow look at their weaknesses directly. They see gaps not as failures, but as opportunities. When you start seeing every limitation as a doorway to learn, life opens up in ways that others can't imagine. Keep improving even when you've achieved something. Success can be a trap. It makes you comfortable. It tells you that you've done enough. That's why so many people peak once and never rise again. They stop learning after they win. They start protecting their image instead of building their skill. But the ones who keep winning are the ones who treat success like a checkpoint, not a finish line. They celebrate, then they go back to learning, because they know that success doesn't last if you stop evolving. Improvement isn't always exciting. It's often slow, repetitive, and uncomfortable. But it's in those quiet hours of practice and reflection that confidence grows. When you spend time refining your craft, reading new ideas, observing your mistakes, and adjusting your approach, you're building depth, and depth is what separates amateurs from masters. Anyone can have a moment of success. Sustained success belongs to those who keep improving behind the scene. You have to be willing to outgrow your old self. Sometimes that means unlearning habits, opinions, and attitudes that once worked, but no longer serve you. Growth requires humility. The humility to say, what got me here won't get me there. It takes courage to change your methods, when they're already giving results. But if you only do what's familiar, you'll never discover what's possible. Keeping yourself in a state of improvement also means surrounding yourself with people who challenge you. You can't grow if you're always the smartest in the room. You need people who push you, who question you, who expose you to new perspectives. That's not criticism, that's fuel. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in friction. If everyone around you agrees with you, you're not learning, you're stagnating. The world changes faster than ever. New ideas replace old ones every day. Skills that were useful yesterday can become outdated tomorrow. The only way to stay strong in a changing world is to keep improving yourself. Keep learning new things, expanding your thinking, adapting your approach. The person who keeps growing never fears the future, because they know they can adjust to whatever comes. When others feel they already know enough, they stop paying attention, they stop listening, they repeat the same behaviors, expecting different results. They settle for good enough. But the one who keeps improving sees life as a lifelong classroom. They're not competing with others. They're competing with who they were yesterday. They aim to be just a little wiser, a little sharper, a little stronger each day. And that small daily improvement creates unstoppable progress. Real growth isn't measured by comparison. It's measured by self-awareness. Every day, ask yourself what you've learned, what you've practiced, and what you can do better tomorrow. Even a tiny improvement, done consistently, changes everything. It builds self-respect because you know you're not wasting your potential. It builds momentum because growth, once started, becomes addictive. Staying teachable doesn't make you weak. It makes you resilient. It keeps you grounded and flexible. When challenges come, you adapt faster because your mind is used to learning. When opportunities appear, you recognize them because your awareness is sharper. Life favors the ones who stay curious. The world rewards those who evolve. The moment you stop improving, you start decaying. You may not notice it right away, but stagnation creeps in quietly. One day you wake up and realize that the people who once learned from you have surpassed you. That's not because they were better. It's because they kept learning while you stopped. The only way to avoid that is to commit to growth as a daily habit, not a seasonal goal. Keep improving even when you're praised. Keep learning even when you succeed. Keep practicing even when it feels repetitive, because growth never stops. It just moves to a deeper level. The more you know, the more you realize how much there's left to learn. That realization doesn't make you smaller. It makes you limitless. So never fall into the trap of thinking you've learned enough. Stay curious, stay humble, keep asking questions, keep reading, keep listening, keep experimenting. Because when others slow down, thinking they've arrived, you'll still be moving forward. Quietly, consistently, relentlessly. And over time, that difference becomes impossible to ignore. The ones who stop learning fade into comfort. The ones who keep improving create legacies. Choose to be the one who keeps growing, no matter how much you already know. Number 9. Keep improving when others feel they already know enough. The moment you think you know enough is the moment you start falling behind. Growth ends where arrogance begins. The most dangerous thought a person can have is, I already know that. That's the sentence that kills progress, steals opportunities, and locks potential inside a cage of pride. Life rewards the ones who stay curious, who keep learning, who look at their skills not as trophies to show off, but as tools to sharpen. The ones who think they've arrived stop moving forward. The ones who keep improving, even when they're already good, keep rising higher. Real improvement isn't about competition. It's about curiosity. It's about looking at what you know and asking, how can I make this better? The best people in any field, whether it's business, sports, art, or personal growth, never act like experts. They act like students. They study, observe, adjust, and evolve. They don't see learning as a chore. They see it as the price of staying relevant and sharp. The moment you stop learning, the world keeps moving without you. There are two kinds of people: those who want to appear smart and those who want to become better. The first group seeks validation. They talk more than they listen. They defend their opinions to prove they're right. The second group stays humble. They know that every person they meet, every experience they go through, has something to teach them. They're not focused on looking wise. They're focused on growing wiser. That's why they keep improving while others plateau. When you keep improving, you keep your mind alive. You stay open to change. You stop being afraid of being wrong, because you realize that every mistake is a lesson. Most people don't fear failure. They fear looking inexperienced. They stop asking questions because they think it makes them look weak. But ignorance doesn't make you weak. Pretending you know everything does. The strong ones are the ones who admit there's more to learn and go after. If you want to keep growing, you have to become comfortable with not knowing. You have to stay a beginner at heart, even when you've gained experience. Beginners see the world with fresh eyes. They notice details others overlook. They ask questions others stopped asking years ago. That mindset keeps you sharp. Experience should make you better, not blind. Too many people let experience turn into ego. They use it as a shield to avoid challenge. But the truth is, the day you stop being teachable is the day your progress. You'll notice that the people who keep improving aren't the loudest in the room. They're often quiet observers. They listen, they watch, they learn from everyone, even from people younger or less experienced than them. Because wisdom isn't tied to age or status. It's tied to awareness. Every person knows something you don't. Every situation carries a lesson, if you're paying attention. The humble person collects those lessons daily. That's why their growth never ends. Improvement requires honesty. You can't fix what you won't face. You have to look at yourself and ask, where can I do better? That question doesn't come from insecurity. It comes from strength. People who are afraid of weakness hide behind comfort. People who want to grow look at their weaknesses directly. They see gaps not as failures, but as opportunities. When you start seeing every limitation as a doorway to learn, life opens up in ways that others can't imagine. Keep improving even when you've achieved something. Success can be a trap. It makes you comfortable. It tells you that you've done enough. That's why so many people peak once and never rise again. They stop learning after they win. They start protecting their image instead of building their skill. But the ones who keep winning are the ones who treat success like a checkpoint, not a finish line. They celebrate, then they go back to learning, because they know that success doesn't last if you stop evolving. Improvement isn't always exciting. It's often slow, repetitive, and uncomfortable. But it's in those quiet hours of practice and reflection that confidence grows. When you spend time refining your craft, reading new ideas, observing your mistakes, and adjusting your approach, you're building depth, and depth is what separates amateurs from masters. Anyone can have a moment of success. Sustained success belongs to those who keep improving behind the scenes. You have to be willing to outgrow your old self. Sometimes that means unlearning habits, opinions, and attitudes that once worked, but no longer serve you. Growth requires humility. The humility to say, what got me here won't get me there. It takes courage to change your methods when they're already giving results. But if you only do what's familiar, you'll never discover what's possible. Keeping yourself in a state of improvement also means surrounding yourself with people who challenge you. You can't grow if you're always the smartest in the room. You need people who push you, who question you, who expose you to new perspectives. That's not criticism, that's fuel. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in friction. If everyone around you agrees with you, you're not learning. You're stagnating. The world changes faster than ever. New ideas replace old ones every day. Skills that were useful yesterday can become outdated tomorrow. The only way to stay strong in a changing world is to keep improving yourself. Keep learning new things, expanding your thinking, adapting your approach. The person who keeps growing never fears the future, because they know they can adjust to whatever comes. When others feel they already know enough, they stop paying attention. They stop listening. They repeat the same behaviors, expecting different results. They settle for good enough. But the one who keeps improving sees life as a lifelong classroom. They're not competing with others. They're competing with who they were yesterday. They aim to be just a little wiser, a little sharper, a little stronger each day. And that small daily improvement creates unstoppable progress. Real growth isn't measured by comparison. It's measured by self-awareness. Every day, ask yourself what you've learned, what you've practiced, and what you can do better tomorrow. Even a tiny improvement, done consistently, changes everything. It builds self-respect, because you know you're not wasting your potential. It builds momentum, because growth, once started, becomes addictive. Staying teachable doesn't make you weak, it makes you resilient. It keeps you grounded and flexible. When challenges come, you adapt faster because your mind is used to learning. When opportunities appear, you recognize them because your awareness is sharper. Life favors the ones who stay curious. The world rewards those who evolve. The moment you stop improving, you start decaying. You may not notice it right away, but stagnation creeps in quietly. One day you wake up and realize that the people who once learned from you have surpassed you. That's not because they were better. It's because they kept learning while you stopped. The only way to avoid that is to commit to growth as a daily habit, not a seasonal goal. Keep improving even when you're praised. Keep learning even when you succeed. Keep practicing even when it feels repetitive. Because growth never stops. It just moves to a deeper level. The more you know, the more you realize how much there's left to learn. That realization doesn't make you smaller. It makes you limitless. So never fall into the trap of thinking you've learned enough. Stay curious. Stay humble. Keep asking questions. Keep reading. Keep listening. Keep experimenting. Because when others slow down, thinking they've arrived, you'll still be moving forward. Quietly, consistently, relentlessly. And over time, that difference becomes impossible to ignore. The ones who stop learning fade into comfort. The ones who keep improving create legacies. Choose to be the one who keeps growing, no matter how much you already know. Number 10. Turn every rejection into fuel instead of self-pity. Rejection is one of life's most powerful teachers, but most people never learn from it because they take it personally. They let it break their confidence. When in reality, rejection isn't an insult. It's information. It's feedback from life that says, this path, this timing, or this approach isn't right yet. The key word is yet. Too many people stop at rejection. They make it final. But the ones who succeed, the ones who rise above the noise, turn every rejection into fuel. They don't let it make them bitter. They let it make them sharper. Every time someone tells you no, you have a choice. You can see it as proof that you're not enough, or you can see it as proof that you're being refined. Most people choose self-pity because it's easier. It feels good to say they didn't see my worth. But that comfort doesn't build strength. The people who grow take that same moment and say, what can I learn here? What can I fix? What can I do better next time? That's how rejection becomes fuel instead of pain. You can't live a meaningful life without hearing no. The more you try, the more rejection you'll face. It's the price of effort. The people who avoid rejection aren't smarter or luckier. They're just quieter. They don't ask, they don't apply, they don't read. They live in the safety of never hearing no, but that safety keeps them small. Every no you face means you tried, and trying is where growth lives. When you get rejected, your first instinct will be to protect your pride. You'll want to explain, blame, or retreat. But if you stay there too long, you lose the lesson. The real power comes from facing the sting without excuses. Sit with the discomfort. Ask yourself what part of the rejection you can use. Sometimes the reason has nothing to do with you, and sometimes it does. Either way, if you can turn that pain into reflection, you're already ahead of most people. Rejection isn't proof of failure. It's proof of effort. Every person who's achieved something meaningful has a story full of rejection letters, ignored calls, missed opportunities, and closed doors. The difference between them and everyone else is that they didn't stop there. They let rejection push them to improve, not to quit. They used it as energy to build something better. The more rejection you face and learn from, the stronger your resilience becomes. When you shift your mindset about rejection, it stops feeling personal. You realize that rejection often means redirection. Maybe that job wasn't the right environment. Maybe that relationship wasn't aligned with your value. Maybe that opportunity wasn't ready for the version of you that's still growing. Life has a way of closing doors that don't belong to your next level. When you start trusting that, rejection stops breaking you and starts guiding you. Turning rejection into fuel requires honesty. You have to separate emotion from evaluation. The emotion says, they didn't want me. The evaluation asks, why? Did I present my best? Did I prepare enough? Did I communicate my value clearly? Self-pity keeps you stuck in feelings. Growth starts when you move from emotion to analysis. Every no holds data about how you can improve. If you look at it that way, rejection becomes your greatest coach. Most people want success without friction. They want the applause without the bruises. But growth demands both. Rejection humbles you. It reminds you that there's always room to get better. It strips away ego and forces you to build real skill, real resilience, real hunger. The people who never face rejection also never build toughness. They stay fragile. The ones who face it often become unshakable. When you start viewing rejection as fuel, you stop chasing approval. You stop needing others to validate your worth. Because once you realize that every rejection can teach you, you understand that other people's opinions can't define you. Only your response can. You start focusing on what you can control, your effort, your preparation, your persistence. And that focus turns you into someone unstoppable. Every no gives you a reason to refine your approach. It's like a mirror that shows you what still needs work. If you treat it with humility, it becomes a roadmap. The best performers, athletes, leaders, they analyze every failure like a scientist. They don't take it personally, they take it seriously. That's how they keep improving, while others quit in frustration. Rejection will hurt. No matter how strong you are, it's human to feel disappointment. But the key is what you do after that feeling passes. Some people stay in the story of rejection for years. They replay it, talk about it, let it define them. Others feel it for a moment, then get up and say, all right, back to work. The second group wins, because while everyone else is still talking about what went wrong, they're already learning how to get it right. Every no can build a new layer of strength if you let it. Teaches patience. It sharpens your vision. It removes the illusion that everything should come easy. It toughens your mindset so that when the next opportunity comes, you're ready for it. If success came without rejection, you wouldn't appreciate it. Rejection gives you perspective. It makes victory mean something. The most successful people in history have been rejected more times than most will ever try. Authors with dozens of turned-down manuscripts, entrepreneurs with hundreds of failed ideas, artists whose work was ignored for years. They didn't stop because of rejection. They were fueled by it. They used it as proof that their path mattered enough to fight for. Every no made their yes stronger. You have to stop treating rejection as a wall. It's a test. It's asking, how much do you really want this? Most people turn back when they hit resistance. The few who keep going prove that they're serious. That persistence changes how life responds to you. Because life rewards consistency more than talent. When you keep showing up after rejection, people notice, opportunities return, the right ones find you. Rejection also teaches humility, which is a rare strength. It reminds you that you're not owed anything. It keeps you learning, improving, preparing. The ego wants instant success. The wise mind wants sustainable success. Rejection forces you to slow down, to refine yourself before the next chance. It's not punishment. It's preparation. If you can learn to take rejection without letting it break your spirit, you'll move through life with power. You'll stop fearing failure because you've already turned it into fuel. You'll stop doubting yourself because you'll trust your ability to grow through anything. You'll realize that rejection doesn't close doors forever. It just asks you to knock again with better preparation. Every time someone says no, it's a chance to prove your persistence. It's a chance to show yourself that your dreams aren't fragile. The world might test you, but that test exists to strengthen your conviction. Rejection is life's way of filtering out those who only want the result from those who are willing to earn it. So the next time you face rejection, don't hide from it. Don't build stories around it. Look it in the eye and say, thank you for showing me what to work on. Then go back stronger. Let every no push you forward, not hold you back. Because the truth is, the people who turn rejection into fuel become unstoppable. They stop asking, why me? And start saying, watch me. And that's when rejection loses its power. When it stops defining you and starts driving you. When others crumble under it, you rise through it. Because you've learned the secret most never discover. Rejection isn't the end. It's the spark that builds the fire inside you to keep moving, keep improving, and keep proving. And keep proving, not to them but to yourself, that no rejection can stop someone who refuses to stop growing. If you've made it this far,
You've already proven something powerful. You're not like most people. You stayed, you listened, you faced the truth, instead of running from it, and that's the beginning of change. Remember this. Most people wait for the right time, but you create it. Most people stop when it's tough, but you push through. Most people settle for comfort, but you're chasing growth. That's what separates you. That's what builds the kind of life others only talk about. Don't just let this message inspire you for a moment. Let it shift how you live. Start today. Take one step, no matter how small, and prove yourself. Because the world doesn't remember those who almost did. It remembers those who kept going when it mattered most. So keep showing up. Keep doing the hard things. Because most people won't. But you will. And that's exactly why you'll win.